Avatar: Aang Project was the first creation I followed in Dreams. Coincidentally, I'd recently finished a rewatch of Nickelodeon's incredible series Avatar: The Last Airbender, and bemoaned the fact that there was no truly excellent gaming take on the show's magical martial arts, despite it feeling perfect for the medium. Then I finally made the time to check out Dreams' early access, and found out someone calling themselves Elka Gaming was already making the game I'd assumed didn't exist. And then I found out that it was already a huge deal. I don't remember how I found it, but what I found was little more than a promise for what the game could be, an avatar ability testing area and some proof of concept locations. But what a promise it was. Elka Gaming was working on complete movesets for each of the show's elemental bending styles, a usable glider, Momo the lemur as a separate playable character, and, going by the game's map, a playable retelling of the show's 3 seasons in some of its most memorable locations. Despite its clearly early state, it was already looking right, and, more importantly, feeling right. I went to check for more, and found that I was far from the first person intrigued by Elka Gaming's work. Last May, the creator had used his YouTube channel to upload a montage of his first 80 hours of work on the game. As of right now, that video has 3.3 million views. The game itself is among the most thumbed up work-in-progress projects inside Dreams right now, with over 8,000 people registering their interest. There's a case to be made that this is among the most anticipated games being developed inside Dreams, and the man making it has no prior experience in game development. Colin Glut, who goes by Elka Gaming online, used to work in online marketing in Germany, using his evenings to post Let's Play videos on his YouTube channel. When the Dreams beta first arrived, he jumped in, intrigued by the idea, but didn't spend enough time to get truly familiar. When it hit full early access a year later, however, he chose to dive in head first, spent hours learning the tools, and then searched for a long-term project to sink his teeth into. After replaying several PS2 Avatar games last year, he noticed a lack of mechanics he thought would fit perfectly from the world of Avatar. Coupled with a rewatch of the show, and the fact that there was a hungry Avatar fanbase still looking for the right game, Elka realised he'd found his subject matter. And he wasn't wrong about that hungry fanbase. After quietly working on his game, uploading videos of his latest creations as he went, the YouTube algorithm suddenly clicked into place, and began recommending his montage video to millions of people's sidebars across the world. His sudden success on YouTube, and subsequently Twitch, where he live streams development of new features, has allowed him the flexibility to go pretty much full-time on the project. When I ask him how he feels about having this many eyes on his work, he tells me he can't really comprehend it, preferring to keep his head down, keep working, and keep showing off his latest additions. He still reads every comment he receives, but he's finding it increasingly impossible to reply to all of them these days. One benefit of Dreams is that Elka's work can speak for itself. Those intrigued by the game on YouTube can load up the regularly updated pre-alpha build he's made public and try out what he's been showing off. Comments inside Dreams regularly talk about which videos have sent them to his creator profile, offer constructive feedback on what he could make next, and, most of all, express an excitement for the game's full release that feels more familiar to the comment sections under AAA gaming trailers than homemade fan projects. The truly ludicrous thing is that Elka has no background in games development whatsoever. He tells me he can't code, draw, animate, model, or any technical skill associated with game development. The closest transferable skill he had going into Aang Project was an interest in art and design. But Dreams has allowed him not only to bypass that roadblock, but smash it down entirely. It sounds like a marketing pitch, but Elka's work bears this out. Someone with no prior experience is making the Avatar game of Avatar fans' dreams because of, well, dreams. Elka's put around 700 hours into Dreams as he speaks to me, with the majority of that going into his game, as well as the background systems he's creating for it, which he uploads for others to use in their own creations. He has a lot more dev time ahead of him, saying he doesn't want to set a specific release window for the game, preferring to just finish it when he feels it's ready. He's loosely aiming for next year, but isn't feeling too much pressure to meet that goal right now. Perhaps the biggest question is what form this game will actually take when it's done. We know it will be a third-person action game at its heart, but the pre-alpha build understandably doesn't offer much of a sense of its structure. Right now, Elka is working on its moment-to-moment elements, how Aang controls, what abilities he has, and how the world interacts with him, but the more wide-scale ideas are very much in his mind. Elka tells me that the game will follow all 3 seasons of the Last Airbender series, having you play as both Aang and Momo, who you'll use to solve puzzles and fit into spaces that Aang can't. The idea right now is for the game to span 20 major locations from the show, starting with a tutorial level at the Southern Water Tribe and culminating in Aang's battle with Lord Ozai, leader of the Fire Nation. It's a game built from a love for the source material, offering the ability to relive it as authentically as possible, rather than an attempt to write fan fiction around it. Elka's goal is to make a game that translates the unique vibe of the show, allowing you to visit locations you recognise and explore them more thoroughly, while reliving specific events from the story. Some of the show's most recognisable elements will be in there along the way: glider levels, the avatar state, and many other nods and references. Most of all, Elka talks about passion for the show, and passion to do it justice in game form. He very much wants that to come through in the final product. I'd argue that that's coming through already. Elka has one understandable concern about his project: copyright. His hope is that, given he can't make money from selling the game, that the creators will look at his passion project as just that, a work of love, not commercial gain. While the inability to make money directly from the game should mean that Elka's free from official reproach, Media Molecule has made clear previously that it won't manually feature creations in Dreams that could be seen to violate copyright. Even without that support, the sheer weight of user interest has pushed the game to the upper reaches of several automated sections in Dreams' search tools, meaning it's a very visible project, and becoming more visible by the day. Elka's clearly hoping that that visibility leads to a positive interaction with those behind Avatar, rather than a more difficult one with their lawyers. He's already tried to contact Avatar co-creator Mike DiMartino, but hasn't had a reply yet. He's also not shy to ask license holders to come his way if they want a game designer. Don't ask, don't get, after all. Like the millions watching his videos, and like me, Elka just wants an Avatar game worthy of the show he loves so much. Unlike me, however, he happens to have the commitment and talent to potentially make that a reality. It's a game made by someone who clearly feels they know exactly what an Avatar game should do and how it should feel, born out of respect for the creators, a fan project in the purest sense. I can even feel that coming through in our interview. After an email chain full of long, well-reasoned responses, Elka adds a single final line written to the show's creators directly, seemingly added as a hasty afterthought. It says almost everything about the loving fan mentality behind his work. If you want to see more from Aang Project, you can check out 12 minutes of gameplay from the game right now.